Ajmer.
The National Stock Exchange of India has been actively involved with initiatives to educate the young generation of our country on the importance of financial management. One such initiative is Nse Fq that focuses on educating and advising the young force of the country on wealth management to enhance financial literacy and to empower them.
Insurance is for protection and investment is for growth.
Another program facilitated by NSE IPFT is NSE Financial Quest. This inter-school financial quiz contest goes an extra mile by educating the young students on fundamentals of finance.
On the buzzer, what is this?
It's the formula for the simple interest.
Simple interest is the right answer.
Under the NSE Financial Quest Base Camps banner, the program engages students round the year through workshops on various topics, projects, interactive videos and quizzes.
DiCaprio is bouncing checks of Pan Am.
Plus 75 Plus 75.
To facilitate these two programs, NSE along with CNBC TV 18 has travelled across the country to bridge the wide knowledge gap in terms of finances. We launched the 6th edition of Nse Fq by taking a glimpse of the years gone by.
Hello and a warm welcome to NSE's Financial Quest Season 6. Ladies and gentlemen, every time I utter these words, that's the only start that I think of because I am surrounded by 8 brilliant teams. That's what happens at every city. And this beautiful quiz competition has travelled the length and breadth of this nation. 200 plus schools last year, 15 cities, and we've explored different parts of India.
Get the buzzer, give me the right answer, and you know the point system.
Barter system.
Plus 75. Good answer.
Nse Fq in its 6th edition is all set to make future leaders of today's young generation.
You need to identify the value of this coin.
With 5 successful years to commemorate, Nse Fq is India's biggest inter-school financial quiz that creatively changes the way students think about finance.
The National Stock Exchange started this 6 years ago with a very clear objective. And the objective was that as a country we are changing, our educational system is changing, our schools are changing, and our children are changing in terms of their horizon, their aspirations, their global ambitions and so on. The corollary to all of this is that their financial acumen is also changing. We did not think of a job or a career till we probably graduated or finished our post-graduation. Today children in class 11, 12 talk of entrepreneurship, talk of not wanting to work but to have their own enterprise, which means financial awareness and acumen starting at a school age became a necessity. And it was fantastic for an institution like the National Stock Exchange to get into that space and to fill that void. Because if you look at it from a system of education, we do not have financial awareness or financial education as part of our system unless you're taking commerce. So what happens to a science student? What happens to a student of arts? He still needs to understand money management for life. So I think the National Stock Exchange did a fascinating thing.
NSE, as a part of its objective, has not only concentrated on the metros, it has also gone to the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. The beauty of it, you have the Bangalores, the Bombays, the Chennais, the Delhis, but it's always been the smaller cities that have produced champions for us. Nagpur, for example, has had some amazing quizzing and some outstanding teams. Last year, we decided to take a break from the central part of India or even the north and the south. We went all the way across to the northeast. We did an entire episode at Shillong and produced an outstanding team in the Army Public School, Ambi Valley. They won with a stupendous margin and they did very, very well even in the semi-finals.
Over a span of 5 years and with more than 3,000 teams participating from across the nation, NSE Financial Quest has single-handedly set a new course for nurturing financial management for young minds.
Battle far from over.
In the attempt to do so, the show has travelled across the country and set base in cities such as Chennai, Kolkata, Coimbatore, Bangalore, Baroda, Surat, Dehradun, Shillong, Nagpur and Chandigarh to name a few. This year the show also aims to travel to Aligarh, Bhopal and Patna.
We were looking at the landscape of the quiz. Quite honestly, many of us believed that financial understanding, etc., would be an urban phenomenon. But if you actually look at India's growth story, the growth story has not been necessarily only urban. It's about India really growing around its urban confines. It's the B and C towns which have pushed India's growth. And therefore, the National Stock Exchange was very keen to address the students in these areas. And it's been a fascinating decision. It's a thought that came right down from their senior management to the very heads of National Stock Exchange, that this is clearly what we want to do. And including the B and C towns of India, I think has really made this more like a life skill than a virtue of an urban child to understand finance. I think they did a fascinating thing by having the vision to go beyond. The flip side of it is, schools and students in these areas have benefited immensely because their horizons have completely changed after a program like this has been started. And I think it's redefined the way schools look at finance just through this huge program that the National Stock Exchange has powered.
The objective of this quiz has been to spread financial literacy. Young children start off with finance at an earlier age, are better equipped the moment they come to the bigger stage. I still remember a quote from Ms. Chitra Ramakrishnan, CEO and MD of the National Stock Exchange, saying, textbook education provides a lot of impetus, but it's the added extracurricular activities like quizzing that gives a different dimension to this quiz. It's in the 6th edition. This year, we have a theme. Today's inspiration for tomorrow's leaders. They are going to be leaders tomorrow, and when they start young and they start bright, they have a brilliant future ahead.
Money is invested in business, that is called equity, your own money.
In today's scenario, it has become a necessity to educate the youngsters on the importance of financial planning and management on a daily basis. Nse Fq facilitates this thought process amongst the students by discovering the financial potential of some of India's youngest minds.
Financial literacy is today a compulsion in schools. We would only be cheating ourselves as a nation if we do not take it seriously. We need finance for our lives, and till the day we are not here, we need finance. And I think life is not about how you earn, but how you manage your finances. It's an equally important aspect. Increasingly, India is becoming an entrepreneurial country. So management of people, money, economics, funds is going to be crucial.
Let's take a quick break, and on the other side, there's more about the different stakeholders of this quiz, the different participants, the different elements that make NSE's Financial Quest great. Stay tuned, more to come. Welcome back. You're watching NSE's Financial Quest Season 6, The Curtain Raiser. This segment is all about the stakeholders. From here on, it's going to be a lot more fun.
See, if you see our country today, we talk about, like 50% of the population being under poverty line. And if we want to raise our standards, we need to train our children right from the early years to know how to handle their finances. Because if they are well informed, that's when they are going to, make the right choices while making investments. Because if you look at our youngsters today, they live for today. They are earning good salaries, but they are spending it, equal amount like. So it's very important that we train our children right from the beginning, give them financial literacy so that they know that when they start earning, they know how much to spend and how much to save.
Financial literacy is the need of the hour, and today the children, and the way it is being introduced from class 8 onwards, it definitely makes an impact on the young mind, and for the future growth of India, it has very, very broad implications, and it would really be very effective and applicable as the NSE has programmed it.
Through principals, they are reaching out to teachers and students. So it's a wonderful step. It is not possible for any organization to reach each one directly, but some media is to be found. And NSE has found principles for that.
Children do not listen to us these days. They observe us as parents. So as a parent, as a teacher, as a CEO of my school, I would look at it as leading by example, teaching the students of today to spend wisely, invest wisely, and make a life for themselves.
Schools are the basic areas where a child must be molded to have financial literacy, because schools are the beginning of it. Nowadays every child gets some what I call pocket money or whatever various terms used there, but at the same time the child must, when he gets some money, he must be able to understand. See, he will not be investing in stocks or shares or on many major things, but definitely he will be willing to put it in a way where he can grow something out of that and gain something out of that. So schools must partner with NSE, and financial literacy at age 8, classes 8 and 9 is a very good approach.
India perhaps is one nation which do not have finance as a curriculum at the primary level. It comes in much later when a child is in class 9 and 10. By that time, I guess, perhaps children have a wrong understanding of money. For them, they equate money to success. Though it is equated to success, success at times do get equated to money, but there's much beyond money in success. At the same time, money becomes so important. So if you know the value of money and what money actually is and what money can buy and what money cannot buy, if that could be coming in from a primary level, I think that's far better.
One thing that they're going to learn above all the banking and money matters is the value for money, which is something I think all of us as parents, as educationists are trying to teach, but it's not working out. They have to realize the importance of money, and they have to realize it's not so easy, how hard it is to earn even 1 paisa in today's world. And I'm very thankful to NSC for taking this initiative, as well as to the CBSE, because they've introduced a lot of new courses regarding financial literacy, and believe me, it is truly a life skill required today in the world.
There is an enormous amount of goodwill that this quiz creates, not only in the schools and the students, but with the parents too. And that's a rare fallout, because usually parents are a little detached with student activities at schools, apart from academics. But this is a non-academic intervention where parents have got involved. And we've also seen at several quizzes the parents are accompanying the children, because I think as a nation, our parents are also warming up to this idea that our kids need to be financially prudent and savvy as compared to our generation.
In Season 1, Bangalore bagged the title of national champions. Season 2 saw Bhopal emerge as clear winners.
Bhopal.
This is the Bank of Vatican.
This is the Bank of
Vatican.
Yes! The national champions!
And breaking a record consecutively was Nagpur, as teams from Season 3, Season 4 and Season 5 with a hat-trick of highest scores.
See, in any quiz there will be winners and there will be those who will come back to win. What's really happened with the financial quest is, I think it's got extremely competitive over the last many years. And no one can really take their place for granted. I think if one has to look at it in the metaphor of a year when the world has witnessed the Olympics, you can choose to be a winner and then probably not be a winner in the next Olympics. Or you can choose to be a Usain Bolt who will come back and do it all over again. But to do that, you really need to have preparation. You can't sit on your previous laurels and believe that you will come back to win. So if you are a previous winner, I think you've got to be way more careful because the pressure is on you to lose. If you are a new entrant into the quiz, you've got absolutely nothing to lose, so go for it.
At this juncture, let me take a quick break. And on the other side, it's going to be all about Season 6. Keep watching. This season is all about today's inspiration for tomorrow's leaders. And today's inspiration is going to come in multiple formats. This format is going to have questions and answers. Of course, it's a quiz. But it could be in different forms. It could be a form of a puzzle. It could be a form of formulae. It could be a form of trying to solve missing words. I'm trying to inculcate a different style this year because we have asked you questions on videos and audios, and all those are exciting. Not that I'm going to remove them from the quiz, but I'm going to add in newer elements. And be prepared for it, and be prepared to be fast. Not only on the buzzer, but also in your mind, because when you're going to answer, you better be prepared that it is the right answer, and it is a quick right answer.
Every year, students appear in large numbers to participate in NSE Financial Quest. In order to make it to the city or the regional round, teams at each of the 15 cities first have to face the preliminary round, where only the best of the lot make it to the final 8.
It's Euro.
Euro. Plus 50 is what you get. Good answer. Good way to start.
The final 8 then face off individually at the regional rounds.
Modern world. PayPal. Beautiful.
The winners from each of the regional rounds head directly to compete against each other in a 3-part semi-final round where 3 teams make it to the national championship. From here on, the real competition begins.
NSE Financial Quest was very clearly a path breaker. While as a nation we had general knowledge quizzes and we had subject-oriented quizzes. We had history quiz, the geography B, we had spelling competitions, and all of these created comfort levels in schools, sports quiz, etc. And then NSE came up with this quiz which said finance, and schools suddenly woke up to it and said, hey, how do we deal with something like this? I think from that perspective, it was a differentiator. Second, the highly inclusive nature of the quiz, which made it a truly national event, I think made the schools take it seriously, and it differentiated the quiz.
Before we bring down the curtains on this curtain raiser of NSE's Financial Quest Season 6, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of you the very best of luck. Season 6 is going to be bigger, better, and stronger. Be there, and I will challenge you with every single question of mine. Best of luck, take care, and see you at the live shows.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.